What's this? I don't know. Hello everyone, I'm Shinopi from Car Encyclopedia Kakaka. This time I'm using this MJJC Short Gun Pro. It's a shotgun for pressure washers. I've bought this, so I'm going to actually use it. What I usually use is this. It came in with the Karcher Mini. Short trigger gun, there is actually a different nozzle. But I've put this convertible nozzle, and using it as a short type, this convertible nozzle is very easy to use. I have introduced it in my previous video, but the tip bends like this, so you can wash inside the wheelhouse. And also under the car, you can change the angle of this nozzle and wash it with high pressure water. This is what I usually use. And this is MJJC. It's quite popular these days. It also looks cool, so I bought it. The price was, how much was it? I bought the Short Gun Pro, the Karcher Quick Connect compatible one, with 5-stage multi-spray. You can change the spray width with this tip, and I bought it for around $60. About the size. Karcher is a little longer, but there's not a big difference. However, the weight is quite different. MJJC is much more heavy, including the weight. I'm going to see what's the difference. Then, let's go outside. Let's go! I've came outside. The pressure washer is now connected to the Karcher short trigger gun. You can remove this by sliding this yellow thing and just pull out the hose. This is the quick type hose. You can connect and remove it easily. The MJJC came with a coupler adapter, which is similar to the quick type one. You can remove it by unscrewing it, but I've fixed it with sealing tape. Next, how to connect it. Here. This part slides. It's a little stiff, so it might be a little hard, but you slide it and plug it in. Put the slide back and it's connected. The connection is easy. Then I'm going to remove this and try Karcher's short trigger gun first. Oh! Then I'm going to actually use it. It's already connected and the power is on. So if you pull the trigger, the water comes out like this. As a feature, it's a flexible nozzle and it turns sideways. So you can spray the water sideways like this. There is also hard and soft modes. It's hard now. If you change it to soft, the water gets weaker like this. You can also adjust between these two. The difference between MJJC is the width. You can't adjust the width. It's like this. There's a flexible nozzle, so you can change the angle. And wash with high pressure water inside the wheelhouse, till the edge part of it. And also under the car. If the nozzle is straight, you can't wash underneath the car. You can't wash here because of the angle. Even you try, the water will reach the middle part. You can't wash the edge part here. But with this nozzle, you can change the angle. So you are able to spray to the edge. This is the feature of using the short trigger gun and the convertible nozzle together. Then I'm going to change it to the MJJC and check how it's like. I'm going to connect it. It connects in a touch. As a feature, this nozzle I bought is a 5-stage multi-spray. 0, 15, 25, 40 and 65 degrees. I'm going to change the degrees and see how much difference there is. Then I'm going to actually use it. First from 0 degrees. It's engraved here in a shape. The other parts are a square, but only 0 degrees is a different shape. You adjust to this point. If it's 0, it will spray in 0 degrees. Then I'm going to spray it from 0. Wow, powerful! I'm going to try touching it. Do not copy. Ouch! It hurts. It's too strong. Wow. Next is 15 degrees. It's like this. Next is 25 degrees. Next is 40 degrees. Last is 65 degrees. The 65 degrees power is weaker than the other 0, 15, 25, 40 degrees. It's like the Karcher's soft mode. What will happen if I remove the nozzle? I'm gonna try. Oh, I see. The water comes out together, so I think I can use it for rinsing. Personally, I think 40 degrees is quite nice. Wow, however, the edge is difficult. Well, it's not like you can't do it, but how about under here? I think it will be difficult. It's difficult to spray right above. The nozzle angle doesn't change, like the compatible flexible nozzle. So it's difficult to spray the edge down here. But since the range is quite wide, you can manage to reach it. However, I think there will be stains that won't come off with this. Well, I think it's alright. The power is strong. This part is a little dirty, so I'm going to clean it. The power is strong, stronger than Karcher. Wow. Nice. I'm going to change it to Karcher and try. It's different. This doesn't have much to do with the pressure washer, but this was satisfying. Just that. This is the pressure verification. This is 40 degrees. The power will get weaker if the spraying range gets wider. Next is 25 degrees. 25 degrees has stronger power. Next, 15 degrees. It hurts if you touch 15. It does depend on the distance, but it doesn't hurt from over 25 degrees. 0 degrees is really strong. You might have to be careful when using it. It's this level, it gets knocked out. By the way, there's nothing inside. Wow. 0 degrees can really hurt you, so I think you shouldn't use it. It's stuck with glue here. Too strong. Personally, about this trigger. When it wasn't connected, it was quite stiff, so I thought you may need power when using. But actually it comes out at the early point. Even if you don't push it strong, it comes out this much, so there's not much problem with the grip. When making car shampoo, if you start with high pressure, it splatters, so remove the nozzle. You can just add water like this, so it's quite convenient. After adding water this much, put the nozzle back on and stick it inside the water. It foams if you take it out from the water. It doesn't foam much if you stick it inside. So by adjusting that, you can make watery shampoo. If you want more foam, take the short gun out of the water, then the foam gets bigger. Well, I think the foam preference will depend on each person. One good point is that the water comes out normally if you remove the head. By the way, MJJC has a 1/4 quick coupler adapter. So you can connect it if it's a 1/4 adapter, like this foam cannon. I bought this foam cannon for around $20, so you can connect this as well. Karcher has a different coupler. A Karcher dedicated one is like this. If you have it, you can connect like this. But recently, many foam cannons comes with this 1/4 coupler. I think this had a 1/4 coupler as well. It might be more difficult to find a snow foam that has a Karcher coupler. I'm going to try the MJJC with the foam cannon. I see. Change the nozzle and wash it off. It's easy to use. Nice. That will be the end of what I filmed. This time I bought MJJC's Short Gun and I actually used it. What I normally use is this short trigger gun that comes with Karcher's K-Mini. I attached this Karcher's convertible flexible nozzle on it. I bought it separately, which cost about $25 to $35. I was using this by connecting. About the size. Karcher is slightly a little longer. Well, there's not much difference in the size. Both of them is the size of a short gun. The features are different though. It's actually difficult to say which is better. First, about Karcher's flexible nozzle. The nozzle moves. So it's really convenient when washing under the car. Also inside the wheelhouse. Changing the angles are very convenient. However, you can't change the angle of MJJC. Instead, it has a 5-stage multi-spray. You can change the width of the spray. If it's high pressure, the maximum is 40 degrees. More wider than that, there's 65 degrees. But this wasn't high pressure. 40 degrees is quite wide, so you may be able to wash under the car if you try. But if you want to wash the very edge part, it's better to use Karcher's flexible nozzle. However, you can't change the width. You can change the width with MJJC. 0, 15, 25, 40 and 65 degrees. There's 5 different spray widths. 0 degrees has overwhelming power. You actually shouldn't use it. It's dangerous by just touching it. The power is really strong. So if you're using to wash the car, I think 15 degrees, 25 degrees and 40 degrees. Personally, I recommend 25 degrees and 40 degrees. There's not much use of 65 degrees. It is wide but not high pressure. So I think I won't use it much. Also, when you remove the nozzle head of MJJC, the water comes out normally without pressure, like a hose, which was nice. When making car shampoo, there are times you don't want it to foam that much, like you only want to add water. I thought it's really convenient for those situations. The weight is also quite different. Karcher is more lighter. MJJC is about twice as much heavier. However, I didn't feel it that heavy when using. Also, the MJJC's trigger is quite stiff. But as I said, the water comes out just by pulling a little. So that also didn't bother me. But the other difference is the coupler adapter. You can use the 1/4 coupler adapter with MJJC. And Karcher needs a Karcher dedicated coupler. This shape. When you want to change the nozzle, or attaching to foam cannons, you will need to check the coupler. The Karcher one is only for Karcher, so it's quite hard to find one. Even there's a nice foam cannon, there are cases that it doesn't have the Karcher coupler. The 1/4 coupler adapter is supported to all kinds of pressure washers and nozzles. So many foam cannons uses the 1/4 coupler, so I think the 1/4 coupler has more options. There are many cases that you remodel the Karcher nozzle to make them attach. Well, it's difficult to choose, but I think the 1/4 coupler adapter has more usage. Also, MJJC looks cool, it's stylish. Well, about what's stylish. This blue one you see here, it's MTM. I've bought this as well. This one didn't have a coupler adapter, so I couldn't use it this time, but I do want to compare MJJC and MTM. By the way, I bought Aqualine. Aqualine is this blue model. With the nozzle and short gun together, it was around $200. It costs quite a lot, but including the design, it's cool. So how will the performance be? I'm going to compare that too, after the coupler adapter arrives. Well, both of the short gun I use today have different features, so you can buy what matches you. By the way, I liked MJJC better. I think I will be using MJJC instead of Karcher from now on. It will also depend on how MTM works out. Well, that will be the end of today's video. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Then, see you next week.